Yeah.
Just,
I
but
mean,
we're
yeah.
also very chill too. So
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the big difference. I think in both of us, honestly, from when
yeah,
I met you and you met me, is that like there's a difference. Like it's kind of like I don't like I want to be more like of a selfless person now. Like you don't want to be like as to where like back then like you think you like the smartest nigga in the room and you want to be the smartest nigga in the room. You feel me?
right.
Like you don't want it to be nobody else smarter than you. And it's like now it's like, bro, I mean, there can be a nigga smarter than me in the room. Like, I don't think I'm the smartest nigga in the room. I'm definitely willing to learn, you know. I don't want to be narcissistic. I don't think those are like, I think if you are, that's just who you are. But I think you can work on that because people matter. That's not you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the world don't revolve around me or you. You feel me? And I think that's what I'm really, as cliche as it sounds, is really what I'm picking up now. Is that the world doesn't revolve around us, you know.
No,
Focus on you.
the way I see it, I know a lot of people have what they call main character syndrome, and I've been kind of like accused of having that
I
at
definitely had that shit.
I
I
definitely
definitely
had
had
it,
that
but
shit.
I never viewed it as I'm the main character, but you're definitely a big part in an ensemble cast, basically, whether that be your family or friends or all that. You like people, you are important. You know what I mean? It's important to be selfless
Hmm.
towards those around you, but don't ever degrade yourself at the same time because you
Yeah,
do matter. Everything
absolutely.
you do matter to the people around you. You matter. You should matter to yourself more importantly. But going back to what you said before, my perception has kind of shifted because I think if I become I feel like there's a part of selfishness that is sort of this survival instinct in a way where it's sort of like this protective barrier that I've had for better or worse. But if I become too selfless, then I get taken advantage of time and time again. We've seen that happen repeatedly, and I think my perception of things has kind of shifted for maybe for better, maybe for worse. But I'm in a great place mentally right now. I may not be the smartest guy in the room on any metric whatsoever, but I'm definitely the guy that knows how to tell their story the best. I'm definitely one of the more engaging people in the room, I feel like. And that's something I could take
Respect.
solace in. Because it's just and it's not by choice either. It just kinda happened, you know? Some people
Hmm.
get that and they're blessed with it. There are a lot of things I didn't get that other people are blessed with, you know, like talent, um, good like I don't know, better genetics maybe, or just better fucking singing voice, or maybe they can use a camera better, or maybe they're just good at the sciences or some shit that I'm not. But there are definitely other things that we're all better at things than than the other people around us, and then vice versa. So our job is to just learn at what we're really good at and harness it and just amplify it to the 10th, to the nth degree,
Hell yeah. Nah, I'm with you. Yeah, I think this is how narcissistic I was. Yeah, how pretentious I was. Bro, after I released Yesterday It Rained, like the Full Sail program director, yeah, the for film, he I like they would for whatever reason these folks were not trying to let me go online for school because I had to go back home because some shit happened with my apartment. You feel me?
Mm.
No, wait, no, I released Yesterday It Rained when I was at home. I was trying to come back to school, but I needed like another like month of time because I had to figure out who the fuck I was gonna stay with. Because I remember I was sleeping on couches and shit until like basically to finish my graduation, bro. Like I didn't get into
This
my
is
apartment.
before Bill East, right?
Yeah. Like, bro, I was at Velis, bro. When I got my apartment at Velis, that was my last month of like school. You know,
Mm.
uh, yeah. If it wasn't my last month, I mean, it was like my last month and maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. You feel me? It was. I don't even think it was that. I think it was like my last month period because I got my shit like late October and I graduated like late November. You feel me? So you know, uh. Bro, I was sleeping on niggas' couches and shit. Like I was staying with Donovan. I was staying with my homie Sam. I stayed with my homie Andre. Like I was sleeping on niggas' couches to graduate. And so the reason I was trying to get online school over the summer is so I could come back and have a place to stay, like and know where I was gonna be at. You feel me? But they wasn't trying to let me do that. They was like, yo, you gotta come back like next month. You feel me? Like you can't take all that time.
Mm.
Um, and so I had to talk to the program director and everything because at one point they wasn't even really trying to let me like stay another month online. You know, so I had to speak to the program director and I told that nigga I was like, dog, like. Bro, I saw that nigga to his face. It was over a Zoom call. I saw that nigga straight up to his face. I was like, yo, like this is crazy, bro. Like, cause I feel like I'm one of the best filmmakers at the school. I told that nigga to his face, bro. Like
But
that, like looking back.
the crazy thing is, as batshit as it sounds, and this isn't just glazing you because you're my friend. You weren't wrong though.
I'm not gonna say that now. I mean,
Okay,
I
but
mean,
back then, bro, it was Full Sail.
yeah,
Come on, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
no one was making Macbeth. Like
Yeah, I mean, I could have been, who knows? But the fact that I look back on that sometimes I think about it, that was crazy as hell. I said that shit, like that was the program director. I said that shit too. Like,
that's
I was
hilarious.
like,
That's
this
hilarious.
nigga
You
straight up.
don't
I was like, I
understand.
wanted
I'm
the
a genius.
best.
You're not
Bro,
seeing
I
the vision.
basically did the Marty Supreme to that nigga, straight up. Like,
Elijah Mauser.
oh my goodness.
It's like you
Um,
see, you see Gary Jones. Like I have a purpose. You know, most other Full Sail students just don't.
yo, that's crazy. Oh my god. Um, nah, nigga, I was on top of the world. I mean, I released that film. I thought you already know. We talked about this. I was on
Yo,
top of the
a
world.
top 100 directorial debut. I remember the tweet. I remember the tweet.
Bro, there was a tweet where like somebody tweeted out some shit on Twitter. It was like, "Yo, you know the director's Ali when he can direct in two different languages." And bro, I quoted that shit. I said yesterday, I ran biological film coming soon.
You couldn't even speak the language. What you were talking
Yeah, I couldn't even speak that
about.
shit.
That's
Oh
hilarious.
god. Oh my
Yo,
goodness.
that is, yo. But honestly, I think that was that era where I was watching clips of all these guys, like I don't know, like the Kanyes or like the Vincent Gallos or the kind of I loved like the snarkiness of directors like Gaspar Noé and all that. So I think I was kind of digging it solely on that front, you know?
Yeah, I was tweaking. I mean, I mean, I still carry an ego. I'm just much, much, much more grounded. Like because I think also you got to keep it humble a little bit too. Because it's like, bro, you can get humbled. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is, dog.
Yeah, I've been there.
Nigga, hell yeah, bro, nigga. I went. Now, granted, I see it as a challenge too. To rise to the occasion type shit. Like, but bro, I went fucking 3+ years without making a film, dog, or
Right.
writing, damn near, and it was because I couldn't, you know, and that's humbling, dog. It's humbling, yo. And that's why you gotta stay grounded, bro. Don't take this shit for granted. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it can be taken away. Even if it's temporarily. You dig? So that's low key also what I picked up from that. Um, but.
Don't take your gift for granted and life in general. None of this
Mm,
should
hell yeah.
or can be taken for granted on any measure whatsoever because it's that cliche thing, but we genuinely don't know how much time we have left. Like, it blows my mind that I'm even still here now, and just as okay and put together as I am. And that's still a work in progress, like
Hmm. Yeah,
it's,
bro.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I would never do nothing like that. I do think that little like I do think like some cool shit like what I'm saying like ASAP said like the don't be dumb part 1 yo this for me but the bonus tracks bro that's for the fans ain't
Like
nothing
at
wrong
least
like what I'm saying
a part of it has to be for you,
Mhm. Yeah, like little bonus shit, throw it, like, bro. That's cool,
Right.
because folks do support you, and do, what I'm saying. But don't get me twisted. Like, nigga, my film is not being made for nobody but me,
Yeah.
except for if like God forbid, like a family member dies or shit like that, and I make it in tribute,
Right.
or a friend or something like that. But bro, that film is not being made for no motherfucking film. Nigga, is you crazy? Hell no. Shit. That's crazy, bro. Like, yeah, we want to make bread out this shit too, but even the money aspect, we were just talking about that. I'm gonna sell out. Like, I'm gonna make a film for a check. Oh
Yo,
my
cut
god.
to 28 years, cut to 20 years later when we're doing the movie for the check. It's gonna be so funny to
I
read
say,
this back.
I
I'm
say
like
this,
doing a DC movie.
I say this now, and then I'm making barbershop remix, new generations.
Barbershop remix, y'all crying. Recut.
Yeah. What do you think about the name? You like the name? You like the name, right? Right? You like the name?
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, the pressure's on. No. No, no, the name's cool.
uh,
I just feel like it made more sense when we had like the retro game aesthetic to it, like to the film too, like the whole
Yeah,
Rocket Fuel thing. But I'm
I
sure we
forgot
could.
that was a
We
virgin.
have a trilogy of films coming. We could tie it in at some point. We still got RF2, The Bone Temple, and RF3, whatever it's gonna be called.
Oh my god, RF3, whatever it's gonna be called. LOL.
Yeah,
RF3 remix
yeah.
generations.
RF Messiah.
Low key though, bro. I know this is like, um, you know what I was thinking about?
What's
Like
that?
RF3. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do that film on. Cause you
Ectochrome.
know in the trilogy. LOL, like I would ever get that access. Like, yeah, Kodak Ektachrome 35 millimeter. No, your name's not bleep. You can't say that.
That's staying in.
That motherfucking RF3. I wanted to do the. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do the RF3 film on. I plan on making that, and hopefully I'm at a little bit healthier mentally place in my life. You know, that's kind of when I want to start working on that. But I almost want like most of the film to be animated. Like I low key want it to be more an animated film for the most part, almost like a narrative
You would do it
animated
like
representation.
it kind of sounds like Jinro, where like the first two parts of it are live action, but then the third one are like the prequels, like fully animated. Um,
WMDs.
it's this idea that I had been kind of cooking. I was starting to recover from this really, really insane downward spiral in my life, starting around, I'm gonna say, like mid 2023, all throughout 24 and 25. Things were pretty actually starting to get better, and it's just one of those things where you're like learning how to walk again and finding out what's really important to you, who you really are, what you're willing to compromise, what you're not willing to let go of, and um certain people can get with it and understand it and will be with you through the good times and the bad times, and certain people just uh can't see it, or take it the wrong way and kind of duck out, or you're kind of led on this dead end trail. And that sort of happened around September, October of 25. It wasn't the worst deal ever, but it was definitely hard to punch through that time. And I had dealt with a year of just constantly waking up, fearful, worried, not wanting to get out of bed, just feeling like the world was gonna around me was gonna collapse. Not even because of outer conflict or turmoil. Like I had just constantly been haunted by poor choices I had made, and reckless decisions, and not listening to the advice of people around me. And so I had always had an idea to do something adjacent to a coming of age project, but I didn't want to make it a schmaltzy piece. I didn't want to feel like I was this morally superior voice, like lecturing or talking down to the audience. And um I really just wanted to be as open and authentic and as honest as I could be, but also have fun with it, because and I know we always laugh at filmmakers who say, "Oh, well, let's just have fun with it," and the project usually just kind of ends up becoming too jokey in and of itself. But there is an element to my life that is some people may see, well, not necessarily now, because now I would say I'm in a pretty good place mentally, but before, where people would perceive things as sort of this tragic sort of ongoing thing, there, looking back, there are a lot of elements of it that, as dark as they may be, are actually, I think, are hilarious in retrospect. Like, it's like, yo, how could you make such a dumb sort of decision like that? How does that possibly happen to someone? How do you make, like, even all, I drove home from work the other day, and I almost end up in like three different lanes just casually, like on some like Liam Neeson, Leslie Nielsen Naked Gun shit. Like, it's just, there's so much like unintentional slapstick that happens. Why not make it like half comedy? And I had all these conversations with my mom and my dad about the sort of, and I had been an avid fan of, I guess, that pop culture of, like, the Y2K stuff and the early 2000s and all that, but also the paranoia that came with that post 9/11 sort of society and
Mhm.
the Iraq War and everything. And
Know, and like you kind of had to like get out and go have fun. Like it wasn't like sitting at a computer, um, and being on Twitter, being on or playing sitting at your phone, being on Twitter, Instagram, or on your computer, being on this and that. Like you really had to go out and like make the most of what it was to have fun, or find what it was to have fun yourself. You know what I'm saying?
like you still
Like
had people that like were shut-ins and were on like the Dreamcast, or the not the Dreamcast, oh my god, the GameCube or the
what?
PS2 or whatever.
Yeah,
But
PS1, PS2, yeah.
for most people, there was no, you had no choice but to interact with the outside world. Like, I mean, it was more 50-50 than it is now,
Yeah.
where now you could just remain shut in just permanently and no one's going to question it. There aren't a lot of parents that are going
Yeah.
to do anything about it, and it's kind of a shame. I got very lucky that I was definitely a shut in when I was younger. Like, I was definitely an iPad, Mac, PlayStation kid to some extent, where I didn't, which is why I was like fat as fuck growing up. But it's almost like I had that reverse Benjamin Button sort of deal, where now I'm starting to explore the outside world. Now, you have too much regret for what you did as a kid. So now in your 20s, you're like desperately compensating for it. So it's like another part of it I wanted to tackle too, where, um,
Mm.
I think this is a story that's easier to tell at high schoolers, but I figured I would kind of set it maybe like in the middle of like these sort of college crash outs isn't the word, but something, it's sort of adjacent to it. Like they're slackers.
Yeah. Chocolate later. It's too. Even the gaming though for the shut-in niggas, like gaming was more ethical then. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Gaming was more imaginative, dog. So even that it just felt better, I guess. Experiencing like I mean, bro, low key, besides like select few experiences, my first time game experiences when I was growing up, of course, the nostalgia could be getting in the way. Is like some of my best, like, favorite games ever, Like Little Big Planet, the first one. Um,
That's
you
first.
know, I think the first, no, that wasn't like my first, like, that was like one of my first experiences, like, at least, like, once I really, like, started, like, becoming, like, I think I was like 10 or 11, I don't fucking know. I think, look, the first one came out '08, and if it did come out '08, then I was, like, probably, like, 7 to 8 years old, so I probably didn't play the first, probably played the second one, a little bit playing too. But something like I was saying earlier, Kingdom of Paradise, something like Kingdom Hearts, uh, what's like another one, bro, like from like 2000s, early 2010s, um, like I'm talking real, bro. Kane and Lynch, dog. Oh
Mm.
my god, like holy shit, bro. Army of Two, like yo. I don't know, man. Gaming just, I don't know. It feels like it felt better. I mean, we know why. Like, there's a couple of explanations of why. Because people,
Microtransactions.
yeah, that's, I mean, dude, it's one of the biggest reasons. But then I think gaming just isn't as imaginative. We were talking about this before, because I think you can be creative and not necessarily imaginative. And I think gaming just isn't as imaginative. I think there's a hyper focus on graphics too, for example, and art direction takes a hit, especially with like bigger gaming. Like I don't know the terms. It's not like mainstream gaming. It's like double A or triple A, some shit like that. Microtransactions, niggas repeating the same exact game. Like, we've had fucking 5 Overwatch like games in like the last like 5 years, dog. You know, um, niggas repeating the Souls shit games like Elden Ring. Like, we've had like fucking 100 Souls like games in the last 5 years. Like, you just look at the vast like variety of games from like when we were growing up and compared to like what we have now. And I don't think what we have now is complete like bullshit. Don't get me wrong, but yo, there's, I hate to just reuse this, but there's much more imagination in these variety and this catalog of games. A Little Big Planet, a Kingdom of Paradise, a Metal Gear Solid,
Right.
three, two or three. Probably three is what we're closer to growing up on, I believe, or four. Um, like a Final Fantasy. I think it was. I don't know. I don't think 10. I think we were too young for 10, if I remember correctly. Um, so I'll try to think of like another one. Uh, bro. Uncharted. Uncharted
Mm.
1 or 2. Oh my
I
god, bro. Lego
among
Star Wars Complete Saga.
I remember the first game I ever had for the PS3, because I had the DS before I had the PlayStation. I'm pretty sure it was Lego Batman. And for a couple of years, I wasn't allowed to play Arkham Asylum. And then when I finally did, it was
Oh
like
shit,
this otherworldly experience. Like it's just I don't to this day I'll replay it constantly, even though it's like
bro.
it's
Yo, yo,
just
yo. Think about
story
yeah.
mode. Not even to get the Riddler trophies. It's just masterfully done.
Bro, just think about like even like other like there's so many titles you could pick from, dog. Like, bro, oh my God, Ultimate Spider-Man, the like comic booky looking one.
It's really all. I think a lot of people forget you're allowed to have your own thoughts. You're allowed to have your own state of mind. You don't have to not saying oh people are sheep or whatever that stupid I'm the head of the herd thing, but
Mm.
you're allowed to have your own autonomy, and I think a lot of people just kind of forgot how to be themselves. I did too. I'm as guilty of this as anyone else. And it's a thing I have to learn every day where it's like, why am I doing this for me, or am I doing this because I'm worried about how I'm going to be perceived? And that's a
Yeah,
question I feel like we all have to ask ourselves about the way
yeah,
we
I mean, because we care about perception. I think more. I think it just. How do you not say that we care about perception more than any other time? You know, when we have access to each other as easily as we do now, like we can see so much more now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like that's. I mean, it's just natural for like folks to like care much more about how they are perceived. You know, which don't get me wrong, I don't agree with that. I understand it. I don't agree with it because we talked about how it seeps into artistry. And we talk about that. That's again, that's where you get the from the twisted mind of like, because niggas gotta know I'm twisted, bro. You know, like, when that's
twist.
not you. Yo, we talked about this hella times, bro. The be different or be yourself does not mean be different. It does not mean that. Like, be yourself. But that's all that we like, bro. We grew up seeing these different artists be like all the way to the left, right? In terms of like how they do their shit, you know, their creative direction, whatever. For example, like a Tyler the Creator. I'm talking about like the most like seeable, like the most visible artist. By the way,
Right.
I'm not talking about the actual most experimental artist, just the most visible artist that can experiment. Sometimes
The
we
most
talk about the. Yeah, you said one more time, homie.
the most like well documented artists.
Yeah, like a Tyler the Creator, you know, different direction every single album, and it's you know kind of different for some of these pieces, right? Even a Kendrick you could throw in there, you know, ASAP, try like you could throw these names in there, right? Just the most visible of niggas. Oh my God, another one, X when he was out, you know,
Yeah.
Uzi, Cardi, etc. And those are just like rappers, you know what I'm saying? Like like you talk to film niggas, I mean, bro, these people don't even know. Yo, people don't even know the directors' names no more. They just know A24. You know
No,
what I'm
it's
saying? That's
insane.
the most visible indie shit right now. If you're an indie filmmaker, you probably know your favorite up and coming indie filmmaker. That's like I won't say up and coming indie filmmaker. I say like somebody that's like entering film school. Like your most what you see in the most if you're not seeing the MCU and you kind of like lean towards wanting to be different, you definitely seeing like anything A24, bro. And they're not. I mean, we talked about this before. People look there's videos on YouTube how to color your film like A24 film.
Oh, the
You know,
A24 film emulator we always talk
yeah,
about.
dog. It's so harmful, bro. Like it's so harmful.
I want to hear about that theory. I want to get it documented on here, where you talked about these film emulators kind of leading to AI.
Oh, because it's all laziness, bro. It's all laziness. And it's the nigga that would not rather, he would rather not be proud, which again, it's growing pains. I get it. I don't like it. I get it. Because there's growing pains, especially when you first starting out and shit. You know what I'm saying? You impressionable, whatever. The nigga that would see that his favorite A24 quote unquote film was shot on film potentially, or looks like it was shot on film, they're not going to go learn about shooting on film nowadays. They're not going to go learn about how to like color your film not to look like film, but just to color your film. Period. You know what I'm saying? Just to learn how to color, which is hella important, hella essential as a filmmaker. Because most of the shit, most of us that even get into filmmaking, we're not like the chances of all of us going and working like and doing studio work or working with a crew or working with whatever, more than likely if you a filmmaker and like you independent or you underground or whatever, it's gonna come down to you, homie, straight up, unless you got some niggas that's down for you and that's gonna work on like a little micro crew with you and that expected not to get no bread, you know.
That's the
um
only thing. It's so much tougher to find people that will stick by you and form you know, this sort of microcosm crew with you. It's possible, but it is
Yeah, hella,
very,
bro.
very
You
difficult.
gotta. I mean, them niggas gotta be down for you, straight up. Especially nowadays, they gotta be down for you, bro. They gotta be like your homies that also like are into film a little bit or videography.
Have sort of like
Um,
some sort of
yeah,
interest in it.
yeah. But more than likely, even more so before they see they A24 film that showcases whatever, they're gonna go on Instagram. They're gonna go on their Explore page, and they're gonna go see if they're into anything A24. More than likely, their Explore page. I mean, you can guess what's on their Explore page. Either more like any Instagram cine pages, you know, um, cinematic Instagram reels where they color it to look like it's shot on film as well. Um, but it's really shot on like a Sony FX3. um, and but anyway, right? Not to get off track. They're gonna see that the cinematic Instagram reel that has like 1 million views and like 200,000 likes and like 25,000 comments, whatever, right? 2,000 comments. They're gonna see like, whoa, that looks pretty as fuck. You know what I'm saying? And all these people like it too, so this must be the right thing. And it low key kind of look like the films that I be gravitating towards. You know, I want to be a different type of filmmaker. You know, I kind of want to be experimental. You know, and they favorite films is like the only four films that they talking about in terms of like contemporary cinema. That is quote unquote experimental. Is something like you know what it is, Midsummer, Lighthouse, Witch.
Everything everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, right. But and that looks kind of like that Pearl X. You know, and so they'll be like that looks kind of like that, and so then you already know what it is. How to color your film, how to color your short film like it was shot on film.
Ugh.
But you know every single video like that. It's not like it's not just a tutorial. It's the tutorial with either in the beginning or somewhere along the ride in that video. It's the tutorial with yo, and by the way, here's the LUT y'all can download or buy off me so it looks like this instead of just doing it yourself. Oh, I could just buy this shit and put it on my it only costs like $10. Oh, say less. Buying that shit, throwing it on their film. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like taking time to really learn about the game, you know what I'm saying? Like taking time to go really be a student. And that's just like copy paste what you see like repeated between this filmmaker and that filmmaker and this filmmaker. Like it's bro, it's happening not just our generation, but you could say maybe a generation above us, right?
Yeah.
It's just happening like repeat, you know? And all that breeds, in my opinion, is laziness, right? And so now that nigga's dropping his shots or his no, he's dropping his shots first on Instagram as cinematic Instagram reels. That will then turn into him dropping short films on Instagram and TikTok probably as well. I think just the like I just think that entire just lazy philosophy, yo, like that snowballs into AI. The same nigga that's gonna be lazy enough to not learn none of this shit, but go buy a LUT to go drop on his shit so he can drop it on Instagram so he can get a bunch of views. I mean, we've seen AI shit look quote unquote pretty. It's not beautiful, but we've seen it look quote unquote pretty. You don't think that the same nigga, if he can't capture the exact shot he wants, he's not gonna use generative AI to get that? You know what I'm saying? If he can't capture the shot on the fucking on the top of the mountain with the fog covering it early morning because he's not staying there.
Just open up Sora AI.
Oh my
And
God. Absolutely. Absolutely. Instead of just recognizing what he has now. Like, this is the thing. This is where I say I get, you know, wanting to color on, be something that you're not when you're impressionable, is because, you know what I'm saying, you don't have access to certain things, right? I understand that. But bro, nigga, that's called the come up, dog. You feel me? That's the grind, homie. If all you got right now is your Canon Rebel camera, that's what you got. You know, if all you got right now is your A6300, that's what you got. If you got a camcorder, that's what you got. I hate the same shit when they do like the phone recording and then like, you know, manipulate it to where it looked like it came from a camcorder. No, bro, if you got your phone, you got your phone. You know what I'm saying? whatever you have is what you have. You make do with that shit. You come up, and then you go to the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Maybe a year of recording with your phone, because you can make a film on anything. You know this, or you know what I'm saying? A year of recording with your phone, or a year of doing photography with your phone. You may have saved up to go buy yourself a nice little Sony A60 500 or whatever, right? Now you're doing some of that. You may have saved up to buy a little 35 millimeter photography film camera. Now you can learn about photography film, which segues into film, cinematic film. You know, now you save up enough to get your Super 8 camera, and now you're learning along the way, right? And you stand to your and not only are you staying to yourself, you staying ethical, you staying honest, but you're learning not only about the craft, but you're learning about yourself and what you gravitate towards as a filmmaker, as an artist, and what you like. You putting together your visual style, your visual language in a way. Not just visual language though. You putting together just entire directorial language together, because it's all a process. You feel me? This whole time you could be writing, and it all builds character, bro, as well. Um, so yeah, man, I think just the entire lazy culture we have with art right now, it opens up for things like AI. AI is, I mean, the nigga that's going to use AI is lazy as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? More than likely, that person lazy as hell. I don't care if they try to disguise it. Oh, it's just a tool. No, nigga, you lazy, bro. I don't care what it is, dog. You lazy as hell, and it's harmful to what? It's harmful to the ethics of cinema, my nigga. It's harmful to the morals of cinema, bro. You feel me? Or morals of art, period. Um, so yeah, I think they all snowball into it. I think they all are under the same. I don't know how I put it, but one definitely snowballs into the other, in my opinion. Yes.
No, honestly, you make such a good point with that, where I think there is this laziness that comes from, I'm not even gonna bother trying this, and so I'm just gonna rely on this, generative AI thing, and I think a lot of it stems from, and I think it's a thing that's kind of been like reinforced in everyone. It's kind of this fear. It's this fear of failure. It's this fear of not being able to live up to what's been done before. And I experienced it. Honestly, there was a big gap. I had a lot of films that I did that I was so embarrassed by that I didn't even put them out. I just, I had a couple of aborted attempts in 24, 25, and it just drove me up the wall. And I honestly had to learn with the Full Sail thesis film I did, Spaceport. I was really confident that I could re-edit it and try to save it, and it was kind of just not dead, but it wasn't really much that could be done. It was an interesting little experiment, but it was just not really salvageable, unfortunately. But I think part of it is you need to be okay with failure. It's okay to fail. It's okay but more importantly, you need to try. It builds character, like you said. It's okay to fall, because by falling, you're gonna build immunity. The next fall is gonna hurt a little less, and eventually you're gonna be able to make it up the hill or the mountain.
Hell yeah, absolutely, bro. I mean, it's a process, dog. Niggas, I mean, bro, and that's another thing too, is why people like to shortcut like that, is because, like, what did we talk about last time? Like, people understand that you. I mean, I kind of described this when I was explaining it, but a lot of folks understand that you can kind of take a shortcut and it be like acceptable now, or it's much more widely acceptable. I feel like, especially in music. I mean, you think that nigga, if he know that he can make his name obscure and he could sound like Playboy Cardi and then make his aesthetic feel like Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely, and and put that shit on SoundCloud with like a super kind of like with one of them like filthy like esque beats, or like a pluggish type beat, you feel me? If he knows he can do that, and like that SoundCloud shit below, and he get like 50K like, or and then drop it on TikTok and that gets sped up or slowed down, and that TikTok below, and now his name around. If he know he can do that, you don't think he's going to?
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't blame him.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, he going to. Shit, I might would have when I was younger, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
That would have been hysterical. Like you was like you went like all like some like King Vamp shit.
Like, bro, he's going to. But I get it. Don't get me wrong, I get it. But it's like, it's much more. It's hard to be like. It's hard to say like what people should or shouldn't do. I don't think it's. I'll put it like this. Cause I won't lie. If I was like, what I'm saying, when I was younger, definitely, if I was coming up right now, like I'm still coming up now, but you know what I mean. Like if I was younger and coming up, like if I was 18, I mean, shit. Look at what I was doing, bro. I was just like not copying, but I was like trying to be like my influences. You know, I still wasn't doing it for the views necessarily. I had that in the back of my mind, though. Don't get me twisted. Um, but I was really just like trying to be like my influences, dog, for the most part, up until this film. Uh, Nowadays, you know, I mean, dude, it's hard to tell a nigga not to like go do some shit like that if I definitely may have done something adjacent to that. If I was in the same boat, but I will say overall it is a little bit more harmful than it is helpful because I mean all it is until like niggas learn from that. But that's the thing too, right? Is don't it feel like niggas not learning from that? Like don't it feel like it's a little bit different? Like folks is not discovering themselves along the way no more.
Uh,
Um,
or at least not
like
not as frequent. Like it's still
yeah,
possible, but
yeah, yeah. Not as frequent, I should say. Not as frequent. It feels like folks not discovering themselves as frequently along the way no more. But that is it's also because I mean we also not really like condemning none of this shit too. Like I just said, we very accepting of it. We not condemning none of this shit. Like we not like that's some bullshit. You feel me? We like let people have fun. You know,
yeah.
like we not saying
Or
that
worse,
that's a,
it's people that think they found themselves and they've convinced themselves, but it's just like this worse version of what they already were. Like they're actually like further back from what they would have been okay as.
nigga doing the film emulation on YouTube that got like 500,000 views and like 2,000 likes, you know what I'm saying? In the comments, it's not niggas being like, yo, bro, like, this is cool, but maybe you should know. It's just niggas like, yo, man, this shit feel like, this shit feel like X. Yo, man, you ever seen, yo, this right here, yo, I mean, when you shot that on the beach, yo, it looked like this film I had seen, Portrait of a Lady on fire.
Portrait of a lady.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody like, yo, homie, like, stop half stepping. You feel
No,
me?
we live in a culture of half stepping. That's the issue.
Yeah,
Like
niggas just be half stepping, bro.
I was half stepping. I made a movie. I ain't drop it. I half stepped. And I need to face that. And now I need to like even listen. Even if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, it's. I think we're all so afraid to get laughed at that we don't even take the first step. You know.
And I get why niggas scared too, because folks don't have grace no more. Like, there's no grace period. We don't give niggas time to grow. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like, if folks gotta have if his first project is like, if his single was maybe crazy, but his project was just alright, like, we don't give niggas another chance. Like, yeah, that shit was just alright, but the nigga don't gotta be ass. Like, he don't gotta be trash neither. And I'm saying this like a nigga who slanders like a lot. But I'll just write niggas off.
Happened with Roddy Rich. It's that immediate sort of gratification now that we have, and I hate to sound like an old person, but now that we have streaming and you have like an album coming a mile a minute, there's
Oh my goodness.
there's kind of less forgiveness. I feel like because of that, whereas people want immediate satisfaction, people want immediate gratification.
Mm.
It's like the way we consume things. It's like a attention span thing. If it's
Mm.
not
Hell yeah.
if it's not working for us in 5 minutes, boom, we'll automatically, shut it off.
Hell yeah. Man, listen, man, RF1 coming soon, man. No, I'm just-
Yo, you're a dickhead.
Nah, bro.
Yo, it was like
That's
a
all right.
daytime talk show interview. So tell us about this rocket thing you got going on here. And I'm like, you talking about RF1? Like, yeah.
Wait, I'd be like, really, which one?
Elijah Winfield banned from the Today Show after some
Inappropriate comment.
problematic comments.